correctly. Okay, can you hear me? Yay, nay, can you hear me now? I feel like I'm on that Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now? Hopefully you can. Oh, you can't hear me either, Frugal Mama boys. Huh. So I set the volume to my iPhone because my camera's here, my laptop's, yeah. Oh, I do have audio. Yes. Thank you, universe. Okay, cool. I didn't know I'd have those problems tonight. It's Friday. Like, everything just needs to chill and work right. Okay, cool. Thank you, Frugal Mama boys. Hey, Edward. Shout out to my members. And shout out to my new member, Time with Tiff. Time with Tiff, I think. I can't see it anymore. Let me see something. Yeah, so I think it's Time with Tiffy who joined. So welcome to my new member. And welcome Edward, my moderator and member, and King of Kill, and KB, who first joined, my member. So shout out to you all. Now, King of Kill said, mic check. Yeah, I need to just do mic check, I think, every single time. Cool. Okay, so I'm responding to some comments. Lovely comments, actually. They're so lovely. So I am going to weave in some actual lovely comments in here, and then I'm going to talk about the not so lovely comments that I've gotten. So we're going to highlight the first one. This one I'm actually going to pull up on the screen for a second because I don't even know what this person is talking about. Like, I literally don't know what he's talking about, half of it. So, yeah. So I think it's this one. Let me just see. Yes, this one. So I'm actually in my studio, my YouTube studio, to do this. I'm not going to share all of them like this, but I'm going to share this one like this because I was talking about American Black male statistics, just as I talked about Black women statistics. And this guy says, on the video, and I don't even know who this person is, BGS Igmore. I have no idea who that is. I'm guessing maybe a YouTuber. And Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, a doctor, have already presented a more vetted presentation than you. This is average at best. And then when you go to the person's channel, they've got just randomness on their channel. So I'm not even going to talk about them, but I mean, yeah, I'm just going to let the people speak for themselves. So they're saying someone's average at best, and they have 68 subscribers, and they do have content on their channel, and it's all kind of just random. So I don't know. Good luck. I'm sure you're going to grow and do great. Mr. Average at Breast. Kind of like I said breast. Mr. Average at Best. Fail. All right. So that's Mr. Average at Best. And I'm literally talking about the stats. So stats are average, I guess. It's good. It's great. So moving on. From that comment, though, I got a new subscriber because someone responded to him and said, Mr. I think it's a miss. I'm going to assume it's a woman. I don't know. Shenzhen said, thanks for helping me decide to subscribe and support this young lady. So I said, thank you. And then we have a comment. I kind of got to skip because I got this comment that says, I'm going to read it. So I do talk about this because I do weave in personal situations. And I talk about the Black community. And in relation to the stats, I highlighted some things about myself. So this person goes to say, I tried listening to this, and you are badly misinterpreting these stats. And so they go on to say a book about the statistics. So they're saying that if black men are 5 or 6 years younger, that means these are a lot more teenagers. That means all else being equal, a lot more black men with B. What? With B in high school. Oh my gosh, it's annoying trying to read people's comments sometimes. So if black men die younger, that means there are fewer black men in group of men with the highest earnings in the 50s to 64 age range. You said most employed men earn 60 to 65,000 a year while looking at stats for full-time employed men. You showed that wasn't the case. The median income was 52. Also, the stats were off by certain years. So we have to look at the ages in general. So they're going off of what I showed, which was a specific age range. But when you go look at stats, generally, you're looking at people that are on average making 60, 65,000 a year. So they need to do their own research. Moving on. And you said that 1 in 4 men earn 75,000 or more, but that is inaccurate. It would be about 1 in 4 men between ages 16 to 64 are employed full-time year-round, which is only 47%. So that actually means closer to 1 out of every 8 men you see who are between ages 16 and 64 are earning over 75,000. I don't really get their point though. I'm like, in general, on this video, we're talking about black men and comparing them overall to other men. If black men were doing so well, we would see changes in our community. There would not be young people just running amok or men saying, oh, the man just won't let me be great, or like you would see differences in the community, I would hope. If we're seeing men making more money and they're still not bringing up the community, that I don't know what to say. One Titans had I think an interesting comment. If you want any chance with the black community, you have to focus on young black boys. Yes, I 100% agree with that. And One Titans is someone that comes into the chat every once in a while. So I think he gives an interesting perspective. So you go up and this person says something else, TM. Then the question about picturing what black men are doing in the day in their communities are just pure useless fantasy projection. And you going on about getting out of this neighborhood with all these black men around and I did not say that because I don't feel safe. Was really kind of disappointed when you were presenting yourself as some neutral, arbitrary or factual info. Like that whole exchange was like, oh, this person sounds prejudiced against black men and she is looking to misinterpret these stats to justify the prejudice. Then we have a comment right above that of someone saying, I don't even feel safe when I see grown blank men chilling, doing nothing in groups. I grab my pew pew, and when I walk past non-productive men, and I'm a man myself. So you're telling me you think as a woman, as a black woman, when I go into a black community and I see, on average, right, from my experience going into a black community, driving through a black community, other people are going to be at work, but the ones that are just chilling, sitting around doing nothing, like they have nothing to do, yes, I'm going to feel unsafe because what do idle people do? Things, especially to women. So no, of course I'm going to feel unsafe. And then this is a man saying that when he sees people chilling, doing nothing, you don't even feel protected. All right, let me bring up the screen. Let me look at some comments because these are the comments I get. And it's just like, why are you on my video? If you don't want to hear my perspective as a black woman, why are you even watching? Why? Like, why? Of course, if I'm going to be delivering stats, I'm going to be giving some type of perspective. If you only want the stats, just look them up yourself. I provide links in my videos. Just click the link, read them. It's like, you don't even have to listen. And then they're like, I'm trying to listen to this. You don't have to. Just if you don't like it, just like if I don't like content, I won't watch it. But if I'm interested in the content or the person or whatever, then I'll watch it. If it's bothering my soul and my spirit to watch something, I'm not going to do it. It's a free yourself. Just free yourself. Okay, I'm done. I'm done for a second because there's more. There is more. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can still hear me and I wasn't just ranting to myself because we've had these audio issues. Frugal Mama, a voice says this is cool. Well, I'm glad you think so. Thanks. Hey Kim, welcome in. Oh, you're from OG's chat. Oh, welcome. Nice to see you. And yes, Edward, thank you. Hit the like button as you're coming in. Okay. So that's one video. Those were a couple of comments. One of the most disturbing comments I had was actually on Dr. Boyce's video. I'm going to save that to the end because I have to search for it. But let's just stick to my videos for now and move along. So the next video is actually, oh goodness, this was just a tough one. So one of the first videos I did where I was kind of stepping my little pinky toe into the waters of maybe a slightly controversial video. Sociologist says Black women should date white men. Dr. Umar's against interracial marriage. Let's chat. Because as you guys know, if you watch any of my videos, I'm for find someone that treats you right and love them, marry them, don't marry them, do whatever you want to do. However, this was interesting because it was probably the first time I ever saw a sociologist or like someone of a professional background saying Black women should date white men. So I kind of expected in this video, let me bring it up here. I expected in this video for there to be some type of science behind it. Like, oh my gosh, Black women and white men pairing is some type of stats behind it, right? When we looked into the video, we replayed this woman in her interview talking about this book. She really didn't dig into any stats or anything that was, hardcore saying like, yeah, Black women need to specifically date white men. It was more of just like Black women in her groups are having a hard time finding men, which they were older, so I don't know why. But they were having a harder time finding men, Black men. And so her advice was for them to date other types of men, which, of course, if you're having trouble finding Black men, why don't you just broaden your options? It makes complete sense to me. But I don't think that means they need to date white men. They could just date any men, like date African men, date, non-Black American men, date Hispanic men, date Asian men, date, whoever. Anyway, so that's the point I was making in this video, trying to make in the video. So I'm going to bring that up. Thank you, Kim. You hit the bell. Thank you. Yeah, Edward, exactly. You could just turn to another channel that actually is delivering the type of content you want. There's plenty of Black men giving the Black men what they want. There's actually Black women giving Black men what they want to hear. Go to that channel. I don't know. Why would you come to my channel? I'm just going to talk about my experience, and I'm going to talk about stats, and I'm going to tie the two together. So if you don't like it, then this may not be the place for you, and that's okay. Okay, so let me go. Let me pull up the next one. So, sociologist says Black women should date white men. I don't know if I kind of want to see what I was. Oh, this is like, oh, yeah. Oh, look at me. So young. So fresh to YouTube. I'm kidding. This was only a couple of months ago, I think. So I streamed this in April. Hopefully that was not a really weird playback. But I was talking about this, reacting to this video. So, first comment I get on here. This is actually recent. Guys, this video actually got 979 views on it. Surprise, surprise. I can zoom out here, maybe you can see. But anyway, go back to that video. It actually has 979 views. Not my normal content. So Aruba says, I just looked at the title and I just knew out of intuition that you're a conservative. I'm actually not exactly conservative or liberal. I'm somewhere in the middle because I have different thoughts on different issues. But thanks. Thanks for watching. So dear MSNBC says, hey Jess, you asked almost the one question I've been asking from the start. Where does she get her data? Statistics will give you some stuff, but not the numbers and percentages she's tossing around. I won't call her outright liar, but I can say much from her is based on opinion. Yes, and that was kind of the point I was trying to make in the video. A lot of her points were based off of her opinion. And so it's kind of like her using the fact that she's a sociologist to sell her book that says Black women should date white men, specifically white men. I'm just like, okay. Which, again, coming from someone that dates interracially, I mean, sure, but I kind of expected different. Okay, so then we get to this person that wrote a book. Majority of Black women in interracial relationships are mixed, not Black. Like Meghan Markle, who has a Black mother who dated or married or had a child with, I think married, a white man. Tamara Mowry, whose mother, Black, married a white man. Okay. I just think it's interesting that he used those two, and I know right off the bat because they've like shown their parents a lot. So I'm just like, okay. And Tamara Mowry, Tia Mowry, same mom, same dad. Mariah Carey, I think she has a different case. I think she probably has I don't actually know. But I would assume she has a white mother. I'm pretty sure. I've never seen her dad's. I've never seen her mom or dad, but I'm going to assume since he listed it. Jessica Nowinski, I know nothing about. Kamala Harris, I really don't know much about. I thought she was half Asian. So that is outside of this. Zoe Saldana, I thought she was Hispanic, like Latina, maybe Afro-Latina. And Zendaya, which I do know she has a Black dad and a white mom. Pretty sure. So yeah, I'm just like, so you use two women that actually prove this woman may be right because Black woman found love and made these beautiful kids. Tamara Mowry, Tia Mowry, Meghan Markle. But okay, moving on. Even when they're Black, majority of the time they're not African, not Black. They're African, not Black American. So you're basically proving her still right. So I'm just like, okay, great. And then where are these stats coming from is what I would love to know. It's kind of like the woman with this book saying, hey, Black women and white men just need to marry him because I think so. So in conclusion, the findings weaken the hope that the Black immigrant presence will moderate the color line in America. I'm not reading all of this. Like, when people leave really long comments like this, bless you, because look, who's reading all of this? Who's reading this? Okay, then we got this one. Oh gosh, this was a funny one. Oh man, I might just leave this up for members later. I'm gonna pause and look at some comments, but so I respect African descendant indigenous women's choice on who she chooses to date. Oh my gosh, blink and marry. Just me, which I am clear on. I don't respect no woman of our race. So this person is saying they don't respect a woman of our race after she interracialize and intermingle. Well, how would you know that a person does that then? Do what makes African descendant woman happy, but I am no longer a part of her. Once she leaves, go date. What? If a Black woman think her only option is to leave, let her leave. I love my race woman only. One day I meet an African descendant indigenous woman. And I think that's great. that thinks and wants the same out of life only with an African descendant indigenous man such as myself. That's me asking my own descent. Well, I think that's fine. I mean, that's great. But like, I think it's kind of cringy that you're like, I don't respect a woman if she dates interracially. Slow side eye. Slow side eye. But I mean, respectful that he wants someone that looks like him. I think that's great. I think that's actually natural for most people. And then I love this Arabian love. Thank you. Shout out, Mia. Let's talk about how about you, gorgeous Black Rose. Well, thanks. I've never heard that one before. Black Rose. I've never been called that before, but interesting. Thank you. This person went off. Like, I think they're maybe Italian. I don't know, but they're saying Pazoo. I don't know what origin that is, but they're saying, I disagree. People should stick with their own race and ethnicity, which I'm kind of like, okay, it's your opinion. And then I say, you're entitled to your opinion. Have a great day. It's not my opinion. A lot of other people of different race and ethnicity feel pressured by African Americans, like it's mandatory or some kind of law to date Black people. And we have no choice or allowed to have a preference who we want to be with, or we would be. Meanwhile, this person has got to be some type of ethnicity from their picture and their name. So I'm like, I don't think this video is really geared towards them. But yeah, anyway, moving on. We want to be with or label as racist for not dating and having mixed kids with Black people. If I ever decided to date out of my ethnicity, it would be a woman from Morocco or Tunisia in North Africa, or a woman from the Middle East or Asia Minor, like Turkey. If I decided to date outside my race, it would be a one. So he's going on and on about these countries, so these women that he would decide to date outside his race. India, Pakistan, Nepal, or Oriental. Well, that's good for you. Like, do what you want to do. Like, I just don't understand some of these comments. I'm just like, okay. And then I said, actually, in the U.S., because this is focused on the U.S., a white man proposed a law that made. Am I echoing? Hopefully, I'm not echoing. Let me know. Yeah, it's echoing on my end, but hopefully the sound is okay on you guys' end. So I say people should marry people who love them and have the, oh wait, this person is saying, sorry. So I said, well, in the US, a white man proposed a law that made interracial marriage legal. So I'd love to see the source of your statements. Have a lovely evening. This person said people should marry people who love them and have the same goals and values. Thank you. Sometimes you meet people of different race or ethnicity who is everything you want and they feel the same way. I thought that was really nice. I don't know if I'm echoing. Am I echoing, guys? King of Kill is saying, King of Kill, let me know if I'm echoing. But yeah, I mean, that's my mentality. Like, I think it's natural to either be attracted to the people of your community or at least the people that you're around. So I always talk from a standpoint of we're in a global world, and in the US, you come across people, well, not everyone, but generally you're going to come across different people. So there's bound to be some type of interracial dating going on. It's just natural. In a society where there's different ethnicities and different people of different backgrounds together. So anyway, that's my perspective. I thought that was really weird. Just like that people feel a need to like really get into their feelings and like go into the comments. But hey, if that's how you feel, I'm glad you're getting it out. But like, don't take it out on me personally. So adding a comment to someone's live isn't going to change their mind. Just keep it pushing. Thank you. Exactly. Like it's like I don't know. I don't get it. Oh, I sound good, KB? Okay, well, maybe I just hear myself echoing for some reason. Yes, I 100% agree, King of Kill. Like, I don't get that. Like, it's not going to change my mind. Like, I think that if I find someone that I care about, whatever color they are, if they're orange, yeah, I'm still gonna date them. Like, I don't care. I do not care. And then, like, I think in that video too, in one of the videos we're gonna talk about, there was Dr. Umar. He was talking about interracial dating and marriage. He's against it. And there was a group of ladies who were talking about it too. And one lady brought up the whole trauma thing, and that's how we kind of, as Black people, and I'm just like, that is not, like, I don't even want to go down that path. Just no. Okay, let me go back to some of these comments because there are more. There are more. Welcome, Charlene. Hey, how are you? Thank you for the blessings. We're doing well. We are looking at some of these random comments. Random comments. Okay, Kinga Kill is saying, orange is your favorite color. Okay. I think, so this is my favorite color. Because it's in front of me, I just did a video before this, but this is my favorite color. It's pink. That's why I wear a lot of pink in my videos. Okay, so we're going to highlight something else. We're going to go to the next one. And I'm going to respond to this two comments that Dr. Boyce on one of his videos. I was responding to a picture and got these really weird comments too. So let's move on to, oh my gosh, look at down for the swirl when it's good for the Black girl. Look at me, so young, so innocent. Wait, when was this video made? It's got 243 views, 32 likes, 4 dislikes. I'm trying to see when it was made. I don't even see that information. Why? Anyway, it was made a little while ago, sometime this year. So down for the swirl when it's good for the Black girl. And to my point, I am wearing pink in this video because, yeah, it's my favorite color. I was going to play some of the video, but if you're interested, just go check it out. But this was a follow-up to the Black poverty discussion, which we'll talk about. So JMJ is saying, if there's ever a stream I wanted to catch live, I hate that I missed this one. I know what JMJ looks like, so I can see why. TM, oh goodness. TM says people should marry and date whomever they want for whatever reasons. I agree. If someone wants to say, hey, I'm dating interracially because there is something lacking in back men, not Black men, back men, or Black women, I don't care. I just think the need to justify dating non-Black people by saying, well, Black men or Black women are lacking in some kind of way doesn't fit with your message that race is irrelevant. I actually agree. I don't think you should date people solely because you think a certain group of people is lacking. However, to my point that I think this person is talking about is if you're seeing statistically that every Black woman to every Black man, there is not a match, like there's more women than the men of a certain age group, like marrying age, right, generally, you're probably, if you're open to dating other races of men, you're probably going to want to do that, just in general. Just like other groups of women do as well. Generally, if you're open-minded, I don't think you're going to see a great man and say, oh, no. If you have goals of being married and having kids by a certain date and all these things, especially when we dug into a lot of the stats regarding some Black men, and we know that Black women have different standards as well. So a lot of women have standards, generally. Financial standards, look standards, height standards, whatever. A lot of women have different standards. So if you're looking for certain things, if you have a long list of things, you're probably going to need to broaden your horizons a little bit. You know, if I'm saying, oh, I want a guy that makes $250,000, they need to be younger than 40, they need to be without kids, they need to, and all of these things, you're going to need to expand your options. That's just it. That's all I'm going to say on that. That's what the point of the video was. Mr. Fulton Moraz says, awesome video. Thank you. Jason says the barrage of news reports about the black marriage rate gives the impression that black women's chances of walking down the aisle are bleak. Yale University study found that 42% of black women are married. We talked about that in another video. And oh my gosh, this person wrote a book too. Who is writing this? Sometimes I literally think it's the same person with a different account because of the emojis. Like I see the same type of style of writing. You know how you can see the same style of writing and you're like, is this the same person, like with a different account? Like, what is this? Especially when you see people when they don't have a picture and then you go to a profile and there's nothing. It's like, did you just make this for? Anyway, so they wrote a book. So we're not doing all that. I just want to read the short comments, okay? The next person says, well, I'll leave you alone after this. Good luck. Here's the thing. I'm not really looking necessarily to find love on YouTube. This is probably the wrong place to do it, but who knows? You can find love on LinkedIn. You can find love on subways in New York. So, yeah, I don't know. But what is ironic about black? Oh, and they use the term female. Oh, why? Black women, I'm going to say, as you is, come on. Your talking points are based on your counterpart, which men and women are very different. What a man goes through is different from what a woman goes through. You know what's interesting? This person can say that, and he's saying it because he wants to make a point for men. However, when I talk about what women go through in black male privilege, men aren't for that. And that's the exact talking point that I have. Men and women are different. The fact that a black man is a privilege women will never have. And yes, we share being black, but there's privilege in you being a man. And we talked about that. I'm going to do a follow-up video about black male privilege. But this is why you should be able to see it. But people don't. King of Kill is one that does. Thank you. He gets it. And others in my chat, get it. But some people just don't get it. And just like, anyway, he's making my point for me. So he's saying you choose, oh gosh, why are they saying male, female? And the reason I say black male checklist instead of black men checklist is literally because of the person that created that checklist said male. Otherwise, I try to stick with men and women. But they're saying you choose male based on you. So if only you see bad men of our race, first of all, I never said that men of the race are bad. I call out statistics and what is happening in general terms. I do not call out and say all these black men are bad. Like, I don't think I've ever said that on a video. Like, that does not even sound right coming from me. However, I do call out statistics of what is happening in the news, what's trending, what's happening when we look at our statistics, what's happening when we look at violence from black men and black women. Specifically, black men targeted to black women. Violence happens where men are generally attacking women in different ways. And instead of looking generally across populations, because we know this happens, men versus women, it does happen, I'm looking at the black community because we don't talk about it enough. We just hush, push it under the rug. And no, people need to be called out. And specifically, the men need to be calling out other men. But I don't think that's happening enough. I think some people do. Like I have seen in a video of Dr. Umar. The only reason I can't get on his bandwagon is because he's constantly asking for donations. I think that's my big hang up with him. But he does call out men. But generally, so anyway, this is a long comment. So in here though, they say overall, Mrs. You put out what you get. You can say feel a certain way about black women. It's a curse to love my race of women. There is nothing there for me because the negative underslighting of our men that black female does underhandling underhandedly. Guys, we gotta like do some spell check or something. Like what's like one or two, but like you're writing a whole book, but then there's errors. Like, come on, please. Okay. Yes, yes, you are pink pill. So thank you for introducing me more into the pink pill because I like knew about it like from other people. I didn't really know what it was because I've heard about the different pill, red pill, blue pill, pink pill. I was introduced to another lovely YouTuber and subscribed, so thank you for that very much. Anyway, and then they bring up the same statistics. 50,000, 75,000 are race men actually lead in that category. We're going to talk about that in another video. Because somewhere is a lie. Because here's the thing. Going through the community just today, because there's certain areas you kind of, you go in somewhere, you kind of drive through, there's too many black men on the street. So there's a disconnect. You're saying people are making such high incomes. Well, why aren't you helping your fellow man then? Because they're bringing it down. So we get these averages. So yeah, you need to help your men then. If you're constantly saying you're making these great salaries and yada yada, yeah, there's something's not right because the statistics are showing otherwise. And visually, when you go through the black general community, there's a lot of poverty. That's all I'm gonna say. And there's a lot of men that you see in poverty, like openly on the street. So there's something going on. If you're gonna keep saying that, oh, all black men are making all this money, and 50,000, 75,000 isn't a lot of money. It isn't. Like you can barely. Like, what are you? Especially if you bring in kids into the picture. And there are plenty of men crying and talking and sad about paying for kids. Don't create the kids. Like, I get it. I don't really get it because I don't have them, but I can see this. Why I don't really want kids right now. Because I know that it is a commitment. Anyway, this is going down the rabbit hole. So there's a lot of comments though. I'm just gonna kind of read them and not show them on screen, just so I'm not calling a ton of people out. But yeah. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you. Appreciate it. Virgo Mama Boys is saying facts. Widen the net. That was literally my point from earlier on interracial dating. Like if people are more, especially women, I think men are good at looking at, okay, this is kind of the logical stance that I'm in. This is why we have men that will kind of date a chick that he's not super into and be like, oh, until I come up, I can, Who said it best? Kanye. Kanye got that model down. This is just my woman for right now. And then when I get rich, I can really get somebody. Men think more logically than women generally in terms of that sometimes. Now, there are sometimes men don't think too logically. For women that are logical, they don't think too logically. But for women in the dating scene, if they have all these goals, just look at the statistics and see. Like, you just need to broaden the net. You may still end up with a great black man if that's your preference or whatever, but you should probably make some other considerations. Which I think, again, that was the point of the sociologist that was talking about interracial dating. All of her older ladies, I think they were like in their 50s, was having trouble finding love. They never had a romantic relationship and all of this, and that's where her book stemmed from. I'm just like, you're in your 50s and you never had a romantic. I'm just like, come on. Come on. I thought she was stretching a little bit, but hey, you're selling the book, you're selling the book. Hi, Mike. I've been told black women are too picky and love to compare. I don't think black women are picky enough. They're not picky enough because you have, if black women were picky enough about the right things, I also think that's a part of the community as well. If we were more picky, that would force men to kind of,
do certain things, but I don't think Black women are picky enough. When you talk to other women and what their expectations are, and you talk to just general Black women and their expectations, the bar is set lower. Now, when you're talking about a certain group of Black women, when you're saying like educated, they make a certain amount, they live in a certain area, this and that, yes, I think our standards increase to more of what the typical woman in America is looking for. But in the Black community, that's seen as, oh, you're asking for too much because the standards are already so low. If our standards were really high, generally across the board, I also think we would see some changes in the community. Because again, the men would have to figure it out. You want a girlfriend? Well, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. You have to meet. And I don't think it's a financial thing only. Character-wise, step it up. As far as responsibility, you got to step it up. You got to show me. You got to take some action. You have to show me some things. Financially, they would have to step up. Action, like what are you doing in your community? There are certain standards they think women generally should have, Black women. So now I'm calling out Black women. Don't come for me, but I'm just saying, from my perspective, I think that would also help, because what motivates a lot of men? What do men say they're doing stuff for? Either kids, right? They have kids, or trying to get a woman. Just generally speaking, my perspective, men in the chat, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but motivators, yeah. Let me see. KB says they had a lot of free time with those paragraphs. KB, I'm just like, look, if I'm gonna read a book, I'm gonna read the book that I just got from Amazon. I'm not reading this. But someone else, I guess they put those comments there for someone else to see it, so that they watch my video and then they're looking at their stuff. But yeah, I'm just like, okay. Hey Zero, what's up? Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for looking at and commenting on my video on Instagram today. Appreciate it. Okay, let me check out some other comments, and I'm gonna go back to some the video comments that I need to respond to. Yes, please do hit the like button. Hit the like button if you are enjoying it. If you're not, just chill. It's okay. I'm not calling them crybabies, men, Jessica. You're not calling them crybabies? Oh man, I mean, it does kind of seem like that though. I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah, like, why are you whining on my video? Like, what is going on? In my videos, look, I have started exploring Cynthia G's content. If there was some men that were gonna whine, I think it would be on her videos, because it brings it. I'd be like, oh my goodness. Like, if I had pearls, I would just be clutching my pearls the whole entire video. Like, what is this? What is going on? So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I am pretty soft when it comes to a lot of things, but okay, I guess not. It's just the crybabies that have the louder voices and they have more time to be on the internet. Maybe. But then, I don't know. If you have a work from home job, you have time. You might have time to be on the internet. Maybe. A lot of people need to spell check. Yes, that's what I was thinking. I'm just like, why? How? You just wrote this whole book and you didn't spell check it? Come on, make this easier for me. You expect me to read it, grammar check, spell check. Like, I know we're in this age where we're in texting society. Everyone's going to make an error. I make errors too when I'm texting really fast. But, like, come on. That's a lot of information. You should have did a little something. All right. Those comments have nothing to do with the Black community, but yet they're still around. Because here's the thing, if you do care about the Black community, you're going to tell the truth and you're going to do whatever you can to make some difference. So you're going to have volunteered in the community at least once. You're going to have put some money into the community. You're going to support Black business. You're going to do something. You're going to do something. Like, yeah. And yes, I've done all of that. So, and then at some point you do kind of get to a point where you're just like, you know what? I'm out. And it's not good to say, but sometimes you are just like, you got to take a break. Mike J, you might need a zero. Zero, you are funny. Zero saying you need a grammar check too. Zero is about to grammar check the whole chat. Yeah, I hate that term female when applied to Black women. These same men don't refer to themselves as males. It's dehumanizing. I think it is. And you know what's interesting? He actually did say males as well, and both of the times it was a little bit cringy. Given our history, especially, yes. King of Kill, I agree. I had a friend keep using the word female, and when I spoke up about it, she said, well, guys call themselves males just because they say it don't make it right. I think you were totally right about that, KB. Like, why? Like, it's good to correct people. And they can, look, you did the correction. It's their responsibility to take it or leave it. Like, or, you know, to actually do something about it or have a general conversation with you to learn more. Get your perspective and get understanding. I agree with that. We are definitely more logical in our thinking. Yeah. Edward, I'm glad you said that. I need to charge my phone or else we're going to be peacing out. Peacing out. Okay. 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 I might respond to a couple more comments. Oh, what time is it? Okay. Hey, OG. Men are extremely logical. I think women need to be more focused on the logic. Zero, I think people are more picky about the wrong things. I agree. I do agree. I think for men and women. I think for men it's a little too focused on what does she look like? What's her shape? Who cares about what, you know, what's going on up here? It just what she look like. And then the women sometimes are also like, what does he look like? Does he have a job? What does he look like? What's his character? What does he look like? Is he kind? We don't care. What does he look like? Is he tall? Is he tall? Is he handsome? And it's like, okay. But yeah, people are picky about the wrong things. Because I don't know if you guys have had this instance where someone's super attractive, you get to know them or you talk to them for 5 minutes and then they're unattractive because of what's coming out of their mouth. And then there's other instances where you're not extremely immediately attracted to someone, but then you hear them speak or you see them walk into a room or something of that nature, and it's like, ooh, who is that? So, yeah, it's kind of depends. It depends. Kind of like a Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z, I don't think a lot of women would say, oh, he's attractive. But I bet if you saw him walk into a room in a suit or whatever, his aura would be attractive. Even before you knew who he was. Like, right? Even before you knew. There's certain men that do carry something about how they walk, the confidence or something, like swag or whatever you want to call it. And you're instantly, like, kind of drawn into them. Anyway, moving along. Side conversation. How do we get there? Because you misspelled. We're talking about this. Zero is grammar police in the chat. Grammar, y'all better be on it. I mean, picky in terms of relationship with guys, who's taller, who has more income than the other. For sure, definitely. Now, I think the height and maybe even the body type probably comes from the fact that a lot of women are going to want to feel protected. For myself, I'm naturally going to be more attracted to a taller man. Not necessarily bigger, necessarily, but tall. Like you guys know, I like Jason Momoa. You know, I like Will Smith. He's tall. Just thinking about taller men that I like. So yeah, a lot of women are gonna like taller men, but I don't think that has to be the end all be all. But it depends on the woman. Other people, it's just all about the money. You could be short, you could be not so nice in the face. They don't care. Just bring me a check. Bring me a check. Sheldon, I didn't even see your comment. I had it up on the screen. Hello, Sheldon. Welcome. You could also say hi, Jess. But hey. So you guys are going in with this grandma check. Okay, let me go back to some comments. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. I am calling them crybabies. I'm not just calling them men. Oh, you're not calling them men. That's funny. So you're not calling them men. You're just saying they're crybabies. And they go over to Cynthia's channel too. See, that I could see because she goes in. She goes in like every day, like almost every day. So I could see that. But like for me, I randomly post videos about what's kind of happening in the community, Black men, Black women, Black poverty. These are the videos where I get the comments. And it's not even that often, but people have felt the need to write a book. So whatever. I'm not reading paragraphs in the comment. You got 3 sentences. You got 3 sentences or less with me. I can't. That is too funny. Exactly. I actually have a friend. She used to send she still sends really long messages. Now she's my friend, so I read it, but I'm always like, oh, I don't want to. But you know, I want to see what's going on, and that's just how she is. So I still love her for it. But like people I don't know, like I'm not doing it. Just not doing it unless it was something super interesting and juicy. King Phil says, I agree and disagree on women's standards. We definitely can get into that. Yeah, we might have to have a discussion on another video about just these whole videos about high value this and low value that, and these women aren't worthy, these men aren't worthy, and this and that. Like, there's someone for everybody, but we're gonna save that for another video. Hey, just got an English teacher told me he doesn't like to use he, she in terms of general references to people. Probably because people are trying to get away from pronouns, because you have people where if you immediately look at them, you could look at me and assume my pronouns are she, her, hers, right? But I could say, hey, I want to be called he. And people are trying to be a lot more respectful of that. So folks, especially in the education realm, media realm, like they're going to be more self-conscious about using pronouns. So they may say their, you all, or they. So they'll begin using things like that and try not to use specific pronouns. However, when you get into different languages and things like Spanish, like the feminine and masculine is already there in the language. So, but yeah, it's just to be respectful of other people, probably. Hey, what's up, Apostle? How are you? What's going on? Happy Friday. I got a special Instagram with those crybabies. I will call them out every chance I get. Especially can't stand it when one sex hates the other as a whole. It gets under my skin. Well, thank you, Zero. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to get... Mike J is asking me a question. I'm going to get to some more comments and then I'm going to come back to your question, Mike J. So stay in the chat. I am going to probably address that in a little bit. Whew. Okay, what's this next one? What are we talking about? Oh, goodness. Okay. So that was down for the swirl when it's good for the Black girl. Down for the swirl when it's good for the Black girl. Okay. So I gotta keep this light. Otherwise, like I try not to let the comments get to me, but some of them are just interesting.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the Black poverty or the inheritance of Black poverty. And I said it's all about the men, which I still believe. I still believe. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And like in this video, oh, I just want to see my face. This is my face in this video. Like, yeah, I'm gonna leave that one because it looks the best out of all of them. But anyway, let's look at these comments. We have TM. So I work in a petroleum refinery as a console supervisor. I came in as an outside operator. These are decent paying careers that don't require degrees, that don't require experience. There's a ton of nepotism in these entry level jobs. Yeah. I worked as a railroad signalman, and again, decent paying career. It's a ton of nepotism involved on who gets those jobs. And most Black people that I knew personally had never heard of that job because we don't have access to this information. Exactly. And a part of this video, I actually, and this is another commenter from another video. But yes, a lot of people in our communities don't. Here's the sad thing is that a lot of people don't go outside of their community as much, aren't traveling as much to explore other things. And if you don't know a lot of people that do certain jobs or have the knowledge as a child, how are you going to generally get the knowledge? So yeah, I do believe that, and sure, there's a lot of nepotism. And yeah, Black people, even well-to-do, educated Black people, don't have that extensive connection to jobs like even lower-income white people. I think that's a huge element. I think, you know what? I think there's a lot of networking that can be done in the Black community. I just don't think we do it enough. And we don't do it to the extent of other groups like white and Asian populations, for example. That's what I feel. But I do think in certain groups, in certain locations, you see better networks within Black communities. So I get that sense here in Dallas, Houston, New York. I think there's more community based, but then in other locations across the US, you're not finding it as much. So I think it depends on your location sometimes too. Oh my goodness. So, oh goodness, we got this long comment. Okay, so this is about men and the women. The facts of this rift aren't new or all that surprising, but perhaps what's most unsettling about the current economic climate in Black America is that when Black families attain middle class status, the likelihood that their children will remain there or do better isn't high. Exactly the point of that video. So they make a lot of these different points in here. I think they're good, just looking at first glance. I'm not digging into all of that though. Oh, they've made another comment. Okay, let's see what TM says. I don't understand the analysis of this issue that you gave or that your listeners gave. This research isn't about poor Black people and the negative stereotypes you and your listeners have about poor Black people. Okay, first of all, so now they're bringing up, this is the same person. They're bringing up stereotypes about Black people. Like, I'm not in the group of Black people. Now, I'm not in a rich, I don't come from a rich Black family. So what is this person talking about? When I bring different topics and I have commentary, it is based off of my experience, what I've seen with different family members, what I've seen with friends, what I've seen with people just in general. People I've tutored, there's a lot of volunteering that I've done too. And I've seen what people are doing in poverty. Like, I've seen it in the Black community. You can see it. Like, if you're in the community at all doing anything, you can see it. So I use commentary as we're going through certain stats to expand on it. So anyway, it's like, so you're saying that I'm using stereotypes. Okay.
The idea that there is some collective Black racial cultural deficiencies doesn't make sense. Even the single parent thing doesn't make sense. The overwhelming majority of middle class and high income Black households are married couples. So these boys have 2-parent homes. They do worse than white boys from single parent homes. So y'all not see how that destroys the whole single parent home. We weren't even, okay, so here's the thing. The point that I made at the end of the video of what I think can help this issue, yes, we talked about a lot of different things, was mentorship. Black men need to mentor the young boys. And we do need to fix a lot of these other issues that have been going on in the community. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Please think. You all don't seem to think rich Black parents are trying to give their children every advantage they can muster. Following a report with Dr. Dre saying, he said, like, what is he, a billionaire? Saying his daughter is like out on the streets. Come on, stop. So yes, that kind of proves the point of looking at the Black poverty. And also I did a video where Black men, Black women, there's different rates of how kids born into poverty stay in poverty, and even people that are, middle class get brought back into poverty. Yeah, but these parents are trying to help their kids. Some parents aren't. Some parents are saying, no, you're 18 now, goodbye, and I'm not going to help you. So I don't know. I don't know. To keep them out of poverty. You all seem to think middle-class Black families aren't doing everything in their power to keep their children out of poverty, or he'll even poor Black families aren't trying their hardest to keep them. What? I'm done with that. And then this person says there are some more successful Black men than you think. They're all using these emojis though. This is what makes me think it's the same person, because it's like the paragraph, the space, the finger point with the same colored emoji, the finger point, the link, more emojis. Like, it's just like, are you the same person with another name? Like, I don't get this. Or are you guys just all in the same group? I just don't understand. Why does it all look the same? Okay, so this is this person's comment, but they're saying basically there are more successful Black men than you think. There's plenty of successful Black men. I've talked about them. We've done multiple trivias on the amount of wealth that certain Black men and women have. Rihanna just became a billionaire. I talked about her. She was a billionaire for a while. But yeah, like, stop. Okay. Studies does show Studies do show that Black women and white women have comparable incomes but not comparable wealth. Black women, based on studies, are more debt than, yes, I think I'll talk about that in another video. Black people start out with disadvantages. Yes, we can change behaviors as they would relate to marriage, children, and saving, but getting out of poverty in U.S. rooted. So here's the thing. I feel like we need to stop talking so much about the disadvantages. I'm going to pause this for a second, bring myself up. I feel like we need to, yes, there are disadvantages. There are disadvantages that a lot of different people have. But we as a people, we have to stop focusing on that so much. Especially when we're talking to the youth, kids, we should not be talking this whole disadvantage. We need to start focusing on advantages and what you can do and being more positive. If we keep thinking in this whole disadvantages, oh, woe is me, we can't do it because this and that, or we keep making excuses, we need to get away from these excuses and focus on solutions. Yes, they exist. How can we fix them? How can we make these changes? I think there's a little too much focus on that, but that's just my perspective. What do I know? I'm not a politician. But like, I might have to get into another video, because I think there are a lot of people profiting from the fact that a lot of Black people are still continuing this narrative that we can't get out of this unless we vote certain ways, or unless we do this, or unless we do this with the church, or unless we do X, Y, and Z, and this, that, and whatever. Instead of saying like, hey, you're powerful, you do have certain advantages, you can do this, you can do better. This is happening, we need to solve it. And stop focusing on the excuses. That's just my perspective. Like, yes, we all need to vent sometimes, we all need that space, but we have to, at the end of the day, think about the solution. I'm still laughing at Zero's comments. But Jessica, what's your preferences in a man? Okay. Preferences. Okay, I'll give you top 3. So yes, tall. That's a nice one. Like, just visually preferences. Tall. I do like a little, like, I don't like super just thin generally. But if you're tall, sometimes that can kind of balance it out. But prefer a little, toned, that's nice. Away from just the looks, I like intelligence. I like people that can have a conversation with me. I've had a conversation with, multiple conversations with a man that looks attractive, and then their conversation was just not so great. And I like people that are understanding, respectful, kind, generous, just good people, right? How do you treat service personnel? If we go to a restaurant, how do you treat the waiter or waitress? How do you treat your family members? How do you treat the women in your life? Like that, those are the type of things. Yeah, so short answer. So I did answer your question. You're funny. Oh, I'm funny? Thank you. I don't try to be, but thanks. I'm 5'5", Mike. These questions are getting, but yeah, I'm 5'5". I'm average height for a woman. Average height. For anyone that wants to call me short. Yeah, my friend is seeing a guy with 2 kids, youngest being 2, never married, and he has a lot on his plate that I don't think he should be dating or my friend should be seeing. Ooh. See? Black women, I really don't think Black women have enough standards. I really don't. I'm assuming that she's Black, since we were talking about Black women. And not just Black women. Other women are starting to, I mean, there are a lot of women that, kind of sliding down a little bit with some of their standards depending on their background. So sometimes it just has to do with your background that sets your expectation. But generally, when I'm talking to just friend group, out networking, talking about, oh, what did your husband do? Or what did your boyfriend do? Or what, how'd you meet? How is he? Tell me about. Sometimes there's a difference. That's all I'm going to say. You should not be dating. Some men should not be dating. That's very true. Yeah. Like for the men that are crying about, I can't afford this $50 dinner or whatever, $100 dinner or whatever. I don't even know where you can get a $50 dinner for 2. But yeah, like $100 dinner or whatever. Then don't date or be romantic, be creative and do something different. Like, do something. Don't take her to McDonald's. Like, do something. Take her to a park and do a picnic. Like, you can get creative, but like if you're that, just don't. Or if you're heavily stressed and you just don't. Like, just don't. So Zero says, I don't get why Cynthia still go in on Black women but had a baby with the same types of guy that she speaks against. I feel like I'm going to talk about her probably in an upcoming video. I think she's probably coming from a place of she's experienced for herself and now she's going to save everyone else. I think that's the kind of vibe I get from her. I've experienced this for myself. Let me show you some light, my truth, her truth, right? And she's going to save the people. So I think just kind of reading through her content, I feel like she has a personal experience that I'm sure she talked about. I haven't watched her from the beginning though, so I've only seen her newer content. But I have heard a lot of people say she started out on her channel really praising and, talking about Black men in, a more positive light. And then something clicked, and she was just like, nope, nope. I'm coming for y'all. And that's what happened, from what I can see. I may be missing pieces of the puzzle just because I was late to the party. Plus, I don't really look for. So ever since I watched her content, now I get recommendations from all kinds of people. I'm just like, who is this? Because the algorithm. So it's like, you click on that one video, like you click on that one cat video. You click on that cat video one time, just one time, and now you just get all these cat videos. You're just like, oh, and then it just kind of sucks you in. So it's like, oh, okay, you got me. As far as the pills go, I think people need to stop taking pills. It's making them crazy. None of those dudes are dating. They are too busy trying to hang around other men, Zero said. Oh, rude mama voice that you speak the truth. Hey, Sharky. Sharky, you're late to the party. We have talked about some comments. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to get to all of these. I don't know. I didn't want this to be a super long chat. Mike says, Jessica, is there a website where I can develop successful income, please? I would need to know about your background, Mike. What I recommend for people is to go to a code academy and become a developer. If you're just interested in doing something to start earning a high income, because there's so many things you can do within the tech realm. That can be coding. It can be just working within program management, project management. We can talk about that. But there's a lot you can do. I would say explore some IT jobs that you might be interested in. I might say, take your time, Jessica. No stressing. I love these comments. Jessica, you're describing race hustlers, people who profit off of the plight of that race. I think those people are the lowest of the low. Thank you. Thank you, Zero. Yeah. Intelligence is top 3 for me. Yes. But okay, let's pause there. The looks help. It's like that nice cherry on top. It's like, oh, this is nice. Just have someone that just looks nice, has good hygiene. I talk about that on the jobs videos. Like, we need good hygiene. Good hygiene. Like, you ever just pass someone, they smell so good? That's nice. That's nice, y'all. Hey, universe, how are you? Hey. You finally coming live. I didn't even know you were subscribed to me. Thanks for subscribing. We're like chit-chatting. I've had some crazy comments, and so I've been kind of just walking through them. Who is uppity? See, I don't know all these people. But yeah, Cynthia ain't saving nobody. She doesn't even provide solutions as far as I've seen. Okay, I don't think her channel is about that though. I don't think Cynthia G's channel is to provide the solutions. Her channel is more providing information and providing help for Black women. I think her videos are really targeted to Black women, but it's just that these men just keep gravitating into her channel. Because I really don't. If I were a Black man, I would see no reason to watch Cynthia G. Her content is really catered towards Black women to highlight when a Black man, for example, like Kevin Samuel says, hey, you're not worthy of squat and you're going to die. What did he say? You're average at best and you're going to die whatever. I don't know exactly what he said at this point. It's been a while. But when that type of man comes to you and says, these women are best, or I don't like dark skin, like all these things that we hear, right, from certain Black men. Her channel is for Black women to say, like, hey, there is nothing wrong with you. These men are saying that because they have a different mentality. You're fine. This is how they're treating these so-called women that are so-called better than you. That's what I read through Cynthia G. That's what I think her content is for. I don't think it's to say, hey, this is what's going to save the community. It's more about, let me save you as a Black woman from the stuff that you're hearing from other Black women, because other Black women, especially older Black women, portray some of the stuff too. They will say, you know, you got to stay with that man and do this for that man. And even though he doesn't have a job, you got to just hold him down. So she's like coming to the light. So yeah, it's, I'm going to do that on another video and just do a breakdown of Cynthia G's content, because I think there's a reason for it. It's not my style, because you guys know I was clutching my pearls. I'm like, oh, that's how we're getting down. All right. When I first listened to her. But if you just kind of weave out some of the things that, like how she says certain things and some of the words that she uses, the actual message seems to be targeted to Black women to say just, hey, these men are saying this because it's a reason and there's nothing wrong with you. You're great. Because women are great. You know, Black women are great. You're great. But, you know, coming to the light, let me explain some things to you. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, Zero says, I like the fact that you don't say this out of hate. Yeah, I don't hate anyone. Like, here's the thing. If I didn't care about the community, if I didn't care about Black people, I wouldn't even talk about it. You just hush it under the rug and everything's fine. The people that are actually talking about it and doing different things in the community is because they care about the community and they care about other people. So in doing so, for myself, I'm not going to use certain terms to talk about certain groups of people or anything like that. I try. Sometimes you might want to, but like I try. Because we just have to be respectful. Like that doesn't really do anything. Zero says, you seen on her channel. Wait, you seen Zero. Now, weren't you the grammar police earlier? You seen her on my channel. She was the last person I had interviewed on my channel about femininity. Oh, wait, who are you talking about, Zero? That's what KS says. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I heard Kevin Samuels mention about Cynthia G. Really? No one should take advice from a guy who had 2 failed marriages. So, okay, yes, Zero, but at the same time, I would listen to Steve Harvey because he clearly learned. You know what he learned? He learned just give her what she wants and be happy. That's what he learned. Learned how to have some peace in his marriage. Just give her what she wants. Just give her what she wants. That's men. That's what you need to do. Just give the woman what she wants. Which, for Marjorie Harvey, might just be purses and trips. You know. Give her what she wants. Just saying. I feel like Steve, he's had some failed marriages and he finally got it together. But yeah, for him, you guys know what I think about that. I just don't think women in general should be calling into a person's channel or station or whatever to be talked down to be rated. It's just ridiculous. And it goes back to my point that I made about Black male privilege, this checklist that talked about Black men having the privilege to hold Black women to a standard of European beauty. Now, I do think Kevin Sam, like the video that I watched, he was saying Kelly Rowland was like the 9 or 10 or something, which would be a Black woman. However, we know a lot of comments in his chats talk about the Black woman's look. So, and generally, it's about the hair. Your hair is nappy. Your skin is too dark, or your nose too big. You don't have a big enough this, or you're too big. You're too, just all this stuff. But here's the thing. I think men in general have a lot of power over the woman's image, which they shouldn't. So that's general. Outside of the Black community, men have this privilege to be able to define if a woman is beautiful or not. And then you go into the community, to my point about Black male privilege, because of your maleness. And again, I'm using the term male just because the privilege checklist. Because you're a man, you have that privilege to say, oh, this is how I define Black women's beauty. Yet Black women are not defining a man's beauty by European standards typically. So, all right. So I need to go some of these comments. Oh, you're talking about uppity. Uppity. I do not remember that person. I'm sorry. The only thing Steve Harvey learned is how to marry his side chick. Oh man, Zero is coming for Steve Harvey. Why are you coming for Steve? Why are you coming for Steve? I don't understand how he has views. He reminds me of the Crypt Keeper. Stop, y'all. Why y'all doing that? Oh my goodness. Y'all are a mess. Thank you, Edward. He looked like the Crypt Keeper. Okay, let me bring up some more comments. I don't know if I'm going to bring it up or not. Let me see. What was the next one? Okay, so the last one was... Oh my goodness. Okay. Down for the swirl when it's good for the black girl. We talked about that one. Those comments are ridiculous. And then the last one we did was inheritance of black poverty. It's all about the men. Regardless of these long paragraphs of comments, it's still about the men. The men need to get together. At the end of the day, we can keep making these paragraph statements, but it is what we're showing in stats. That's just it. So the last comment, let me see if I can find it, because I was actually not even on my channel, and this is what makes it so disturbing. Is I was like, this isn't even my video, and y'all really coming for me? Like, really? So it was a picture that Boyce Watkins actually posted. You guys know I like him. And let me see. He might have taken it down. I'm trying to remember what he said. They took a picture of it. Oh, I think this is it. Let me see. Because I think I basically thanked him for... Oh, this is it. Okay. I'm about to show this on the screen, because I want y'all to see the comment. I want y'all to see the comment that I made, because it's like this. Here's the post. So let's look at this post. Okay, so Boyce Watkins, he's focused on the black community too. I think he's trying to do some things. He has classes and things that are teaching people about financial literacy. He says, shout out to the hashtag Black women who challenged us to do better and have our backs no matter what. Black love and family are everything. And I thought that was lovely. And he posted a picture of LeBron James, because you guys know who was trending. He said, I'm nobody without the support of my queen, Savannah. And there's a picture of him and Savannah. And so Boyce made this. He said, the right woman can turn a man into a wealthy, powerful king, right? Can't be a king without a queen, right? Okay, so I say, I love that you're so supportive and respect of Black women. I wish more Black men spoke up like you, Dr. Boyce. 100. So, how could anyone in their right mind have comments for me? First comment, Tiny Goat. Let me make this a little bigger. Let's look at Tiny Goat. Tiny Goat had to say, sound like a bed wench. And not only that, he has 4 likes. So, sound like a bed wench. Okay. Bed wench, okay. Big Dog says, so he's calling himself a dog. Let's just point that out. He's calling himself a dog. Okay, so he's a dog. Big Dog. You are attractive, and Boyce is a simp. So you're a simp because you're saying that a woman can turn a man into a king, a good woman. And he's shouting out Black women. To my video where I talked about people getting upset when Black women are highlighted and praised for something. Go watch that video because I talk about this. I don't see any other group getting this kind of hate when someone's praising a Black. You want something to go viral? Just praise a Black woman. People will come out of the woodwork and start making comments. Okay, so sound like a Bedouin, and then Big Dog says, and why are they animals? Tiny goat, so he's a tiny goat. And then we have Big Dog. Okay, so he's a dog. You are attractive and voices a simp that you would cheat on with a dude like me. So he's saying I would cheat on Boyce, Dr. Boyce, a guy like him. So a guy that is respectful, financially fit, helping out his community, publicly displaying affection and, respect for Black women. He said I would cheat on him, not knowing anything about me, with a big dog. Okay. Obviously he knows nothing about me. Always pandering isn't support. Y'all think simps are cute like a puppy, but you don't want to be with them. Question: if someone tries to break in your house, would you feel safe in a home with Doc? First of all, so he coming for Dr. Boyce Watkins, I guess. So just because, and there's this weird thing, just because a man is financially stable and intelligent does not mean that he's weak. So a few things. First, with Boyce, I'm probably going to be in a generally safe neighborhood. So the chances of a break-in would probably be lower. Next, probably going to have a security system in place. And he's probably going to have the funds to have a gun or something in the house. So probably going to be okay. With Big Dog, I mean, he's a dog. I don't want to live in a doghouse. So I don't know. I don't know. But that's the comment that I get. And then luckily, someone came and said something. So Kobe said, if you pander to women, they will buy. I need to start making money off simple women like you. Improper grammar, but okay. And then we have T. I'm assuming is a woman because she has that perfume bottle in that photo. Imagine thinking being supportive and respectful of women is pandering. You call her simple, but you're weird. So thank you, T, whoever you are. Thank you for that. But I don't even respond because it's okay, I am kind of responding because I'm making this video, but actually in text responding because it's just look, my point was made. Do what you got to do, tiny goat and baby or big dog. So anyway, let me bring this back up. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this up. So I post some comments sometimes on Instagram just because I'm so surprised. It's just and that's not even all of it. That's not even all of it. Not all of it. And it's okay, so would I take a guy pandering to me over someone that's dogging me out? Sure, just pander to me. That's fine. Doesn't mean I gotta buy from you, but go ahead. You just keep pandering. Come on, let's go. But it's really? Can't even make a comment. Let me look some comments on here though. And thank you, Edward, my moderator. Please do hit the like button. Yes, that's Mike is up in here. But that's okay. You live and you learn. So yes, I think any curse word that you say is automatically going to be hidden, Mike, and anyone else in the chat. So you might as well just avoid it because it will be automatic. Are you hearing static? Well, that's not good. Are you still hearing static? Is that everybody? Sharky says, I'm not sure anyone should take advice from Steve Harvey for that matter. Didn't know that Sam Hughes had 2 failed marriages. Harvey can't even get the Miss Universe winner right. Y'all are coming for Steve Harvey. That is so funny. I have one friend that loves Steve Harvey. so I can't come for him at all. But I mean, I like him generally. I really like Marjorie Harvey. I love her fashion sense. Side note. Okay, KB is saying somebody dug up some receipts and found out he was making less than $1,000 before he started doing YouTube. Really? I believe that because he's talked about it. He talked about the fact that he was like something happened at the university, and so he just figured out something else that he would do instead. So hey, I can't knock his hustle. I don't know if you're talking about Boyce or if you're talking about Kevin Samuels. I don't know much about Kevin Samuels, honestly, but I have heard that he definitely wasn't making a lot of money before YouTube. So I mean, but you know what? I don't come for anyone's hustle or whatever unless they're hurting someone or doing something out. But for me personally, I'm just not watching him. I would not recommend him to anyone, man or woman, because I just don't think that message needs to be the messages that I've heard so far. I just can't do it. Sharky Steve almost got hunted down by the cartels. Y'all need to stop. Y'all say he got hunted down by the cartels. Y'all are a mess. A lot of ADOS men are too obsessed with women submitting to them. I don't know what ADOS mean. I've seen it around, but like, what does that mean? ADOS. I've seen the mug chow, like the men going their own way. Yeah, it's just a lot of hate look, men would not hate women so much if they didn't need us. If they just, look, men are attracted to women. A lot of men, not all, some men are not attracted to women. But generally, if we're talking about straight men attracted to women, unless you're maybe asexual or something. But there's a lot of hate that comes towards women. And again, to my earlier point about the privileges, men will not ever know what it's like to be a woman, just like women don't know what it's like to be a man. However, as a Black woman, you have two things kind of stacked against you in a way. However, there's many Black women that are not focusing on that and just focusing on what's the solution, how can I get forwards, which I think is great. And I think it's what we need to do generally, to my earlier point. KB, while it's interesting about Sam, you were talking about Samuels. Okay. What was he doing? I heard he started out with perfume or cologne, like just reviewing cologne, and then some kind of way moved into talking about women issue. I don't understand how that happened, but hey, it's YouTube, so I guess you just figure out what works. Zero said Jessica's not a bad witch. Look, I know what I am and what I'm not. And it's just really sad that Black men on the internet, and I say Black men because it's not like you can see a ton of the men, but the ones that do have thumbnails, you can see that they're clearly a Black man. Also, look, these random people on the internet cannot define a person. Especially, you don't even have a picture of yourself on there, and you're calling yourself Big Dog and Tiny Goat. So you don't have a name. You're some anonymous person, and you feel the need to call someone a bad wench, not knowing anything about me. Okay, that's great. So, I'm not actually sure if Boyce is actually helping the community, though. I question that sometimes, too. I do. I question it a lot too. I think he started out helping the community a lot. Now I think it might be more of a hustle, like he's getting his money because of how he's posting on YouTube and the content that he's posting on YouTube. But then at the same time, I think about being a YouTuber and thinking about, okay, how do you get more reach? Sometimes you pull in different topics to get more people and to get your message across. So that could also be why. So I'm kind of on the fence. I have gone to one of his seminars. I will say that I went when I was in New York. I thought it was good because I was just getting introduced more heavily into finance, but it was definitely an introductory course. It wasn't anything super heavy or super insightful. I kind of follow him more so for the trends because he's always following the stock market. So I literally just know if Bitcoin is down, Bitcoin is up, Ethereum is up, Ethereum is down, stock market is red or green. Like I literally, that's literally what I have come to kind of follow him for. And then if he has any insight on any specific stocks, I think I'm a pretty good stock picker myself though now. Like generally I know what to look for because of some other YouTubers I follow. They're not black. I started out, the first financial person I started following, I think it was Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman, and then I moved to Boyce, and then I moved to financial education. Graham Stephan, legit, like legit. Financial Jeremy with financial education. This video is kind of going left, but Jeremy with financial education, he got me like 5 good solid stock picks that 200 like percent up. Like he's just solid, man. He's solid. He's not black. Black people should be learning. This is why I talk about the like interracial stuff. Like you should be learning from other people. Why do we feel like we need to silo ourselves out? We had a time where we could have done that and we chose to integrate. So now we're integrated and we need to make the best of it. So we just need to make the best of it, but still yet build within our own communities. You can do both. So you can learn from other groups of people. Anyway, I know there's comments still talking about Kevin Samuels, so let me get back into the chat because I know I'm way behind on these comments. Thank you, Zero. That's such a nice comment. Thank you. First, he doesn't even know what... I cannot with you guys. Oh my gosh. King of Kill, you are hilarious. Dudes do pander, but not Boyce. Yeah, I don't really think Boyce is pandering to anyone. And he's not constantly. So here's the thing. And this is why I stick with Boyce and I haven't gotten on the Dr. Umar train. Because Boyce is not on. The only thing he's asking you to do in a YouTube video is he's saying hit the like button, which every YouTuber does. By the way, hit the like button. But he literally is talking about you generally about finance, giving some insight. Sometimes he's wrong. Generally, he has some good information. And he's spreading the message of, you know, you need to invest. You need to create some freedom in your life. Dr. Umar, I've tried to listen to Dr. Umar and listen to his message. But here's the thing. He's always asking for donations. He's like, some, donation. Some, donation. Some, donation. And I'm just like, dude, what am I in church? What is this? It's a donation button. He was like in some casino or something talking about send some donations because he's got to build this school. But I'm just like, is there a school? Because at least with Boyce Watkins, he has an online community. You can actually take classes and learn from other Black professionals if you want to. And you can buy things for your children and such. And he doesn't overly promote that. But for Dr. Umar, donation. I mean, like, man, how much money is he making from doing that? I should be up in here just sitting here like, donation, y'all. Donation. Or a super chat. I guess that's the YouTube form of donation. Super chat. Like, just do the, just all through the video. Like, what is this? I'm sorry, but that's my perspective of him. Hate him or love him, I don't know, but I can't. I would have to read up maybe on his background or something. Steve Harvey, like, look at Steve Harvey. He's not begging for donations either. He's just got like 4 or 5, 15,000 jobs. That's it. Got to pay for that wife. That's my only dig at Steve Harvey. Got to pay for that wife. A man will be called a simp by these doctors. A man will be called a simp by these Dr. Seuss characters for just liking black women, even though that's the incorrect use for that term. I don't even understand what a simp is because I've seen black men use the word simp for a black professional man who is taking care of his family and respecting women. So you can muster up the strength to call a man like that a simp, but we can't call out these men that are ravaging through the community. I just saw a news story today. I think it was the Bronx. This man, black man, Ard, because I can't say that word on YouTube, a 70-year-old woman in the Bronx. And I'm just like, the 70-year-old elderly women are not even safe anymore. And where were the men? And we're going to have to talk about that in another video. But like, come on. That's who you need to be calling whatever names in the book, not someone that is actually making a living, contributing to society, and taking care of it himself and his family. There's no static anymore. You're good now. Oh, thank you, KB. Well, I was going to keep talking anyway. You guys saw earlier I was talking and you guys couldn't hear me. I'm like, oh, thanks. So thank you. Shout out to KB and everyone in the chat that let me know my audio was messed up. Thank you, Keisha. Comedy Stat, welcome. Nice to see you. ADOS, what does it mean? Mike, KB says African descendants of slavery. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I've been seeing that everywhere. I just didn't know what it meant. Mike said anybody? Mike is like, I don't know what ADOS means either. What is it? Godson, feminine men have a problem with women and not wanting to be their slaves, and submission should be only for the person they love. We're gonna talk about submission because here's the thing. Some men need to be worried about totally different things than a black woman or any woman submitting to them. Again, I keep going back to the community because when you roll through a community and it's not thriving, you don't see businesses, you don't see safe homes, you see people running amok, someone submitting to you, that's the last thing you need to be worried about. That's the last thing you need to be worried about. KS was an image consultant and he used to go in on men, but he figured out that he would make more money going in on women. But the dude is straight up opportunist. Opportunist, yes, for sure. That sounds, I mean, hey, it sounds pretty smart to me. However, like I could do the same thing. I could sit up here every day and just be like, yeah, black men or this and that and whatever and da 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 da. And I'm sure people watch that type of content because they're already watching that type of content. But that's not really what I want to, the type of content I want to do. I want to, I started the channel because I wanted to help certain people find jobs and understand certain things. I wanted to share side hustles, money-making things I was doing, financial things. And then it kind of morphed into economics because I've been seeing certain things and just wanting to have open discussions about things. And that would just be draining of my energy. I don't see how certain women do it and certain men do it. That's just draining your energy. I just don't understand that. I don't care how much money, because here's the thing. Money is good, but if it's not what you want to do, it's not worth it because you're wasting your time. The time is the most precious thing you have. And so if you are making a lot of money from doing something that you don't even like or is draining the life out of you, why would you do it? Because you don't get time back. You can make money. There are ways you can make money, but you can't get that time back. You just can't. Okay. Jessica, I'm offended that you call those cryberries men, but you're more compassionate than me. Maybe I need to call them tiny goat and big dogs. That's what I need to call them. Call them tiny goat. Look at tiny goat. I would call them kittens or cats, but I like cats a lot lately. I've been kind of feeling the look. It's because of YouTube. It's like, you guys know I was kind of on the like, I like cats, but I don't know. I clicked on, like, when I talked about that cat video, like clicking on that one video, I'm talking from experience. I clicked on this one kitten video because I was like, oh, look at the little face. It looks so cute. And I clicked, and now I'm getting nothing but little kitten videos, these little short videos. I'm just like, and then you click, and then you're like, oh, look at the little face. And then you click it, and then they just give you more and more and more. And it doesn't end. Anyway, moving on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Katie, I don't understand the term bedwitch being thrown around given the history, especially when Black men date more outside their race. Like, why is there more backlash when Black women do it? Here's the thing. Also, I have not seen pictures of a Black woman in shackles in a cotton field or whatever field it was, sugar cane field, cotton field, whatever it was, bowing down to the person they're about to marry and taking a photo shoot and spreading it out for the world to see. Like, what, who did that? It was a Black man with a white woman. I talked about that in another video because I was just appalled. I'm like, what? The mentality, like, what has to be wrong for you to be like, yeah, that's okay for both of them? I'm saying the Black man and that woman and that white woman. Like, what in the world actually went through your mind to say, yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is perfect. Great plan. And then look at the pictures and go, yeah, this is good. This makes sense. Yeah, let's post it. Yeah. And let's post it with this caption. Y'all gotta check out that picture because, like, in that video, because, like, but I'm the one. Yeah, yes, yeah. I don't understand that. I don't get it. That was just wrong on every level. That was not a good look. That was such bad imagery. That's just bad imagery. Oh, blessings Oreo and Sharky. Who's Oreo? I didn't see Oreo come in here. Hey. I did not know who Oreo is. I hope you're not calling me Oreo, though. Are you saying Edward? KB, the term is misused. The term means a Black woman who was a slave, who sleeps with her master and does everything for her. Exactly. But people throw all kinds of words around. Now they just use it for any. If I happen to marry a white man, you saw in the comments, one person said, they're not gonna have any respect for me because of who I married you. Yeah, that's weird. But with that same logic, Kobe Bryant would not be respected. He wouldn't have been respected because of who he's married to. Make that make sense. Just I was looking at your comment, zero. Uma's favorite line is run donation. Now that I do feel like it's probably pandering. If you're constantly telling people what they want to hear and talking about those donations, that sounds more like pandering to me. You're right, Jessica, don't know the definition of a static. Exactly. Oh, the static is bad. Okay, let me close this out. That probably means that YouTube is tired of me. YouTube is saying what it's supposed to stand. Boyce has real finance courses online. That's how he helps the community. The other stuff he does on YouTube does increase his revenue, but doesn't take away from the mission of financial literacy. Thank you for that, because I was kind of like, I thought the comment earlier was about Boyce, and I thought about it. I was like, well, he could have made a lot less because he did have a period where he left, I think it was Syracuse, and then had to I guess, kind of figure out something else to do. And then he did start YouTube and did a lot of other things. Like I saw on CNN and all kinds of stuff he was doing. But yeah, I think I can't imagine. He just got married and everything. I can't imagine that his pockets don't run deep. Sarah said, Jessica, the term simp really means a man is loyal or worship a woman who cares nothing about that man and uses him for his worth. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. I've never heard of Ado's prior purchase, and I very often learn something new from Jessica's live stream. Thank you. I'm glad you learned something new. I learned the same thing, so we're both learning something new. Thank you. Oh, thanks for the comments in here. All the little pups. Little pup. I mean, look, I don't even know what to call folks that make comments like that. Those last comments, that's just ridiculous. And thank you, Mike. Hey, Titans, welcome in. There's a bunch of race play back. Back. So tonight with white men. What? There's some race play. Sharky says there are a lot of crap financial YouTube channels too. Many, yeah. Look at allegedly how much money I just made from this last crypto trade. My goal of my channel is to educate property. Yes. There's so much kind of crap on here. Sometimes, because I think a lot of people are just kind of following the market, like, oh, Bitcoin's up, and look how much money I made, and if you had invested this much, you'd be this and that. You guys know I'm in the crypto markets. I am, but like, I don't talk about it a ton. I try to weave it in, just because I know it's very, very volatile, and I don't want anyone mad at me because I sold on the low end with Bitcoin or something. But I do hold long term certain cryptocurrencies. I am a hodler. I hodl Ethereum and I hodl Bitcoin and a couple other cryptos. So. But I'm not a crypto, like, I'm about to say something else, but I'm not a cryptocurrency like millionaire. So if anyone thinks they're getting a sugar mama, they're not. But let me close it out since there's static in the chat. Oh goodness, this video just went left. Let me look at the last comments here. I don't doubt it. There was a guy who was trying to make a play about what? During slavery. Oh my goodness. See, you guys have to watch the other video. That's too much. But let me close out the video by saying, look, I don't make content because it's controversial. I make content because of the topic that I like, or I want to talk about, or I want to explore something. So I will probably still continue getting comments like this. I do stand more on more traditional values. I do talk a lot about Black women and things that I think will help Black women in general. When it comes to dating and economics, okay? And just thinking logically. Within that, I am going to bring up Black men, I'll probably bring up Asian men, I'll probably bring up white men, Hispanic men, whatever. But at the end of the day, I make content because I do want to share different messages, yes. However, I don't want to offend people. Naturally, that's probably going to happen with certain content, but it is not my intent to broadly offend a group of people. And I'm not going to do that every single video, but there are going to be some videos where, hey, if you feel I am personally attacking you, then think about the content, think about what I'm saying, and focus on the message that I'm trying to relay. Because there are some issues that are happening in the Black community. I think both Black women and Black men can help to remedy them. However, I don't think that, to a lot of messages right now, I do not think all the effort should be placed on Black women. I think there needs to be less of that narrative going on. What are Black women going to do? Well, the Black women need to protect me before I protect her. There's just so many conversations that pop in on, and I'm just like, and that was one today that I heard, and it was this black man saying, yeah, the black woman, and I talked about that in another video. The black woman needs to protect me, and then I'll protect them, or I'll only protect certain black. And it's just like, it's not just about you, it's about the group of men in a certain community. We need to make sure that you as a man, if you're doing things right, you need to educate your fellow man. We should not be seeing videos of women getting hit with fireworks and the men are just looking around or laughing and pointing, and like a black woman getting terrorized in the street and there are black men around and they're just recording it or pointing and laughing and putting or shouting "World Star." Like, that's kind of the thinking that I try to relay in a lot of my videos, that like, hey, these things are happening and it needs to stop. And for black women, like, hey, if you're in this environment and you can't find an equality man, yeah, you need to look elsewhere. Why would you just stay in a pool? If I was in a group and everyone in the group had no job, would I stick with that group? Or if everyone in the group could not hold a conversation, why would I stick with that group? I would go explore somewhere else. Go to another location. Do something. But don't stick with the same pool of men that you don't want. Stick with your standards. Anyway, I guess it's time to close out the video. This was a really weird video. It's not the normal content. But thank you for bearing with me as I walked through some of these weird comments that I got. I think the highlight of the night was the bed wench comment. I think that was probably, that takes the cake, for actually commenting on a black man's post and saying he's doing it right. So love that you're so supportive and respectful of black women. I wish more black men spoke up like you, Dr. Boyce. Got me, sound like a bed wench. And good night. So that is the video. Okay, I did see some other comments. Let me just quickly take a peek. Zero said you heard about the fireworks thing too. I would have made dude pay if he had been there. Look, the men that were there did not do right. They did not do right. Yeah, there's a sick culture of that stuff. She directed me to a website that had, oh my goodness, you guys talking about the wrong thing. Okay. Zero. I'm glad you saw the video. That is not a good look for us in general. That's just that. You guys are here talking about all kinds of stuff. All right, y'all. That's the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for joining. Have a lovely evening. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to go live as well. So I will see you all then. I'm going to try to go live in the morning and afternoon, I think. And I've got some other content coming next week. So I will see you guys later. Bye. Have a good weekend.